Is it only for black people? Why is it aimed at black people? Why do you only care about black people? I'm gonna make a one called White Tech Day.
And since then, he has been like big bro, big uncle. Like I always say, he's the real role model.
Sometimes you go into something and you think you're going in for one thing. You actually need to have your eyes and ears open, because actually there might be other opportunities that you didn't realise.
Our community, our borough, doesn't get provided the opportunities that other people get provided.
The reason why I left that job is because the pawnbrokers was robbed, and I was robbed there at gunpoint.
I should introduce myself. My name is Fusion from BMT Stories. We celebrate the awesome everyday stories of black men and women. And I want to introduce an awesome black man, a leader in his field, a serial entrepreneur, an award-winning speaker, the man behind the Muller Cakes movement, a leader for the youth, and somebody who's taken us to the forefront of tech where we need to be, because we are the original leaders of tech. I said that yesterday. I told you guys, the computer is not a machine. The computer is a person. The original meaning of computer is the human being being able to compute. And the phrase came about in the 17th century. The original computer would have been Imhotep. He's the pyramid builder. The science to create things from your mind that lasts for over 6,000 years, that's our ability. Let's follow the leader, this man I'm introducing to the stage. Please, Black Tech Day family, raise up your energy and please welcome to the platform the one and only Dexter Sims. Let's go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Then can I take a moment like I did yesterday, otherwise it won't be fair and people would hear that I took a moment yesterday and I didn't take a moment for you. So let's take a moment and absorb what is actually happening right now. It's a moment in time, it's a moment in history. It may not seem like it now because you're in it, but when you look back at this day, when you look back at this moment, you will be grateful that you was here on this day, on the second day of Black Tech Day. So give yourselves a round of applause. Now, I didn't actually prepare a speech, but a lot of you that probably heard me speak before know I just speak from my heart, so I felt like I'm going to do that today because it's the right thing to do. On my latter part of my years, I've been studying finances. I've been studying high-level business, and I found myself a lot of the time up in Canary Wharf, a lot of my time up in Mayfair, and going to events in Excel Centre. I mean, I can ask a series of questions, which is just 4, and I believe I know all the answers already, but let's just check so I can understand that I'm trying to create impact in the right place. If you or your child has ever attended EGX, which is a gaming convention in Excel Centre, put your hand up, please. Okay. If you or your child has ever attended Comic-Con in Excel Centre, put your hand up, please. Okay, thank you. If you or your child has ever attended London Tech Week, if you or your child has ever attended NFT London. Okay, so I am very grateful to say that I have chosen the right area and the right borough to do Black Tech Day in. Because the reason being is because I was a guest speaker at 2 of those events. One of them, the tickets was £500. They didn't even have as many speakers as we had. One of them, the tickets was £200. All of them was in Mayfair, Canary Wharf and Excel Centre. But this is the reason why I've done it in Croydon, because our community, our borough, doesn't get provided the opportunities that other people get provided. Things that happen out there in the finance world, in the investment world, we don't feel included in, let alone hear about it or get invited to. The reason why it's called Black Tech Day is because not only is there 54% of black people in Croydon, but in the technology space, in the workforce, there is only 5% black people. In the gaming industry, which actually made double the amount of money than the movies and music industry put together, the gaming industry made double the amount of money that it did last year. There's only 3% of black people in the gaming workforce in the UK. So there's a need, there's a reason behind why I called it Black Tech Day. Because before, when it was called Tech Taster Day, it wasn't really getting looked, it was getting overlooked. So I did have to fight against, is it only for black people? Why is it aimed at black people? Why do you only care about black people? I'm gonna make a one called White Tech Day. I've been attacked, but I was willing to take that risk to make my black people feel included. Because when we hear the word tech, especially coming from the underprivileged communities that we come from, just hearing the word tech, we don't feel included. We don't feel invited. So I had to make it apparent that this is our place. I've had some of the speakers ask me, what should I wear? I'm saying, brother, wear what you want. Come in your pajamas. This is our day. Do you understand? Yes, we're not going to wear our hoods in the building, but I don't agree with putting on the trousers there anyway. So I'm not expecting to see that, but we're not not going to make any youth feel uncomfortable. They're allowed to do what they want. This is our event. That's the reason for Black Tech Day. The reason why I've done what I've done for 20 years of being a serial entrepreneur, I've never actually had a job. I've had a registered company since 2003. I want to create as much change and opportunity as possible that I can possibly create for myself. I want to pull it out there. Why? I don't have full control of my children, just like many of us don't have full control of their children. Why is that? Because they have to attend school for so many hours, because they are watching social media for so many hours, because they are influenced by so many other things. So I had a little crazy plan. If I can influence lots of people to think the way I think, then hopefully you're going to be able to influence my child who may not listen to me one day. And so on and so on and so on. Because that's how I see it. I give advice to single parent mothers and express to them that if your child's father is not in his life, it's kind of your responsibility to find a positive role model who is a male figure that you can place your son around, your daughter around. Not to be their dad, to have a male thinking role model around your child. So I thought to myself, I know he's not, but if Aaron was struggling to be a positive male role model, I want to help him so he can help someone, that someone can help that child, and that child's going to help my child. But if I didn't help Aaron, then that possibly might not happen. So when we talk about this raising a child, it takes a village to raise a child, we got to raise the village first. Because we can't expect Aaron to know how I think or to act how I believe is right. Because what I see right, he might not see is right. So we have to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals that we can trust. Because this is what this world is boiling down to. It's boiling down to trust. Can you trust what the news says? Can you trust what's on social media? Can you trust me? That's what I'm looking for. I can't care less about the rest of the world. This is my network. So as I said, I didn't feel included when I go Canary Wharf. I feel a bit out of place. I didn't feel included when I go Mayfair. I feel a bit out of place. Croydon's my territory. Croydon's my stomping field. Croydon's my community. Why? Because I run a food bank in Croydon. Because I have a clothing line in Croydon. Because I have a children's holiday club in Croydon. Because I have an office in this building in Croydon. Because I pour out into each and every individual that I come into contact with in Croydon. So if you ever come across my children, I know what you should possibly be pouring into my children. And that's what I stand for. Change and opportunity. Now, I'm not going to drag it on after that. I want to introduce someone to the stage, two people actually, to just give you something what this world needs more of because of the word trust. So I don't want to convince you that my way of mentoring works. I don't want to convince you that my way of investing works and makes money. We're going to have to do a thing that the world can agree on. It's something called social proof. Just show me the proof. So I want to introduce two people to the stage. We'll start with a lady who I've known for, I would say, it's about 6 years now. We've become very close. I would call her like my family member. Let me just say this. What Black Tech Day is for is to help parents better bond with their children through financial education, technology, and gaming. When you speak about finances in our black community, we don't want to know. Technology, get out of here. Gaming, that's just the things the kids play. So when I'm explaining these three things, I'm going to bring on someone to the stage that, again, didn't have a clue. Maybe still don't, or maybe not interested. But where their heart lays is I must be able to provide the information to put my child into a better position in life. It's their responsibility. So she has shown her full commitment to not only me, to not only my organization, to not only my family and my children, but to society and the borough of Croydon to make sure that she's pouring into other people's children in the same way that I just had that. So first, can we have a round of applause for Pam, please?
Okay, morning everybody. First of all, I'd just like to say thank God. I feel so blessed to actually be here on a Sunday. I'm meant to be at church. For me, being here on the second day is a blessing. I met Dexter 5 or 6 years ago, and he's a blessing in my life because he is Mr. Change and Opportunity. I don't know anybody else that has provided so much opportunities for all different age groups, from 0 to adults in all spheres of life. Literally everything that he says or comes out of him, he's offering something to somebody, and he's not doing it for personal gain. He's doing doing it for his community. Yesterday, I was watching from home and I was watching a live stream, and what was coming across was amazing. I prayed and prayed and prayed for this Pat Tech Day to do what it needed to do. Whatever it was supposed to do, it did it yesterday. Whatever happens today, it's already done. And when I was watching from home, a lot of what I was hearing yesterday was all comes back to shoot your shot. When Dexter first met me, he had his clothing line in the college where my main job is. He didn't know I worked there. He was there in a pop-up in the college doing this clothing thing. And he didn't know at the time that I was looking for an opportunity in the community to give back. So my colleague had gone over to see the pop-up shops, and she came back and she said, Pam, there's this guy, you have to meet him. So I said, who? I haven't got time, I'm doing one-to-ones, I can't talk now. Anyway, so Dexter made sure that he met me, and literally as soon as we met and spoke, I saw his vision straight away, his inspiration and his vision. I've contributed to help him, support him with his holiday club. He made it quite clear, Pam, I need you to help me with my holiday club. Pam, please. 5 years later, the club is an award-winning club. And on the day that we won that award, I'm telling you, like, literally everything just flowed out of me. Like, I don't know if anybody's seen the footage, but literally that was like natural surprise. It was just amazing. Now, I am the director of the Kids Club. I didn't go into supporting Dexter with his club for that. I literally went in just to support, to get him a strong team. That was it. Sometimes you go into something and you think you're going in for one thing. You actually need to have your eyes and ears open, because actually there might be other opportunities that you didn't realise that's there sitting there waiting for you. You might think at first, no, I didn't come in there for that. But actually, no, give it time. And if you believe in the organisation and the person, then it will flow, and it did for me. So with me, everybody who knows me knows that I do quite a few bits and pieces. I have a main job, I have other projects, and the Kids Club is one of the things that I feel very blessed about, because being part of the Kids Club, we're reaching so many families, especially this summer. The amount of families we've reached is just so amazing, and everything that I do is all about sharing. So me being part of the Kids Club, I've been able to provide change and opportunities. So that connection alone, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of students that are young people. Now, my son, Aston, has been a coder since he was 9 years old. He was fortunate enough to have access to coding in the corporate environment because we knew somebody, because their son was a young coder. That access to coding is very unusual, and his access was taking place in London Bridge. Again, linked to what Dexter was saying, you can't get your children into a lot of things. If you do, you have to pay money for it. I knew somebody, so he was doing it, and he was very good at it. So that, where we went to was sessions where the parents were involved. I learned a lot about machine learning, VR, that kind of. I've been quite proud to actually say that I know these things. And like Dexter said, I can't even play a game. I cannot play a game. I've got 2 adult children, and they've got these things. I don't know what they're doing. So I made it my business to know what they're doing, because that's what they're interested in. I was even saying today to somebody on the way here, how can we as parents say or have a downer on gaming be negative when do you actually know what they're doing before you're saying that they're not actually learning from this? Before we make comments on what we think children are doing in their bedrooms, ask them, sit down with them, can I play? So there was a gap with Aston's coding access. The session's finished. Being a part of Wanna Cake, my son Aston's had the opportunity to teach coding to the Kids Club. And then, because Dexter saw the potential, then he was part of the previous Tech Taster Days, which there were 2 or 3 of them. And Aston was actually presenter to parents at one of the Tech Days. He had a 45-minute public speaking talk to support him doing that. Aston delivered that presentation to parents, and I'm telling you, I'm a parent, and I did not realise how great it was going to be. It was quite an emotional moment. So he's part of the team as well. And so with me being interested in what my son's future, I don't have to like what it is. I just need to be interested in what he's interested in and find opportunities that he's interested in. Like today, although I'm working a part of the team, I'm going to be making sure I'm talking to people and seeing how I can get some more information, not just for myself, but other people that I know in the community who couldn't come here. But having this tech day in Croydon is absolutely amazing.
Can we get a round of applause for Pam, please? Thank you, Aston. Right, I just want to bring one more person on the stage. I know that I've messed up the schedule again, but you lot can give me a little bit of room just because you ain't going to hear me speak for the rest of the day. I only spoke once yesterday and I really appreciate you lot also. Just bear with us 5 minutes. This next person I want to bring to the stage, I think I've been mentoring her for like 10 years now or something. I was thinking I didn't even know it was that long. But when I first met her, she was a mother of 3, I believe, or maybe even 2. To me, it was her drive. It was her ambition. It was her willingness to want to learn that made me think I want to offer her my mentorship. And for any of you that don't know, I charge £600 to £800 an hour. So free mentorship is something that's very valuable. So I said to her, yeah, I would like to mentor you, etc., etc. She had a dance company at the time. And as I said, because of time, I'm just going to speed through a little bit so she can say a few words. When you have a good student, it makes you know if you're a good teacher, because how your student receives and then acts after would make you know how much they understood and if you even picked a good student. One thing I like about this young lady is I call her my mini-me, because she absorbs what I say and then the next day she puts her mind to it or she just puts it into action. And all I ever hope when I teach is that people use what I've taught you, because I don't think it's fair that you don't use it and then you say Dexter was a bad mentor or I went to that course and I didn't learn anything. How you implement is entirely up to you, but I know what value I gave. Now with my mini-me, she implements nearly every single thing that I say, and to me, she's excelling so much. Like, I'll give one example. I used to have a thing called Power Circle where we used to meet each week online. And I invited a very special guest speaker called Mark Dalgety. Any of you lot from the Caribbean islands understand that he creates the Dalgety teas. You just drank one just now, yeah? So I was fortunate enough to invite him into our Power Circle. And my mini-me was quick to, as I always tell her, if you see someone important in the room or someone who knows, got more knowledge than you, make sure you're asking questions. So she asked a very good question, which I can't remember exactly where it was, but it's just based around how do I elevate internationally and stuff. Long and short, his answer was kind of, not generic, but it was to everyone in the room to take that information. About 2 days or 3 days went past. Mini-me implemented the information, and then she had the Barbados commissioner on her emails telling her to come over and train up the women them. And can we just have a round of applause for Danielle, please?
Hiya, thank you. Morning, everyone. Firstly, I'm just so proud of you and thank you for being part of the family. Like, literally, it's been about 10 years since we met. I remember coming to the office in Brixton and literally, I can't remember how I found out about you, but I was running a dance company at the time. So I was a mum of 2, running my dance company, and I just wanted to be involved in what you were doing in the community. So I think it was a meeting about asking you to perform at one of your events. And since then, he has been like big bro, big uncle. Like, I always say he's the real role model. So I am now a single mum of 4. And for me, he is the positive black male role model in my children's life. He's like the top guy. So you are a true blessing. And yeah, like, I joined his Power Circle. I've been involved I am part of the Millicate Kids Club. I do self-love, teaching, empowerment to the young children. Also, like, your own children, like, you're just like family to me. So my takeaways over the last 10 years is, I always say, like, if you want to be great, get around greatness, and Dexter is greatness. So I want you all to give a round of applause for that, firstly. But what he was saying about the village as well, like, just make sure you're taking everything on board, make sure you're getting in the circle. And I always say, are you in a circle or are you in a cage with where you're at? So look at the people around you, look at the environment that you're in as well. And I've been able to just take everything on board that he tells me to do. Like, free mentorship for 10 years, guys, come on now. That's priceless. That's priceless, what he's poured into me and into my children. Maya, she's got like 2 little businesses that she does. She does her tie-dye business. My children are in the green room at the moment because babysitter issues today, but they're in the green room. I've got children from the ages of 1 to 11, and just their mindset as well. And when I was on the Power Circle calls, they used to be listening in and they used to take on board what was being spoken about. Millicate Kids Club, they started their businesses. So Maya's got a tie-dye business, and my 9-year-old daughter, Amelia, she's now got like a glitter tattoo business that she does as well. And I would say that you've just helped me to turn from being a hustler and grinding to actually knowing how to run a business. So I run a women's empowerment business now. I no longer do the dance classes, only for Millicate Kids Club if they want me to. But before I was just like, it's like what's those things? Like a hamster on a wheel. Like, kind of, that's all I've known to be an entrepreneur from the age of mid-20s. And the last job I had was actually in a pawnbroker's, and it was a few years before I met you. And the reason why I left that job is because the pawnbrokers was robbed, and I was robbed there at gunpoint in the pawnbrokers. And I went back stupidly to the job like 3 months later. And then I thought to myself one day, like, why am I here? Like, they would have replaced me within 3 to 6 months. So then I put all of my everything into my dance company, and such a blessing. I met you a few years down the line, and I've just implemented everything because success leaves clues, right? So if you want to get to somewhere, you do it. And yeah, I have the Barbados High Commissioner in my phone book now, and he checks in on me, and I've taken my children down to the embassy, and I'm hoping to do work in Barbados. And there's so much. I've started my podcast. You've given me platform on Mullicate Radio. Every opportunity, like even during lockdown. So I had my 3-year-old son at home on my bed, lockdown, okay? And during lockdown, I wasn't teaching dance. Dexter, again, offered me the opportunity to go online and do the sessions where I've met Mariam, and I've been able to like pour into her son with the self-development and self-love and empowerment. And again, that paid me. And that was the only thing paying me throughout lockdown. So, yeah, forever grateful for you. Future godfather to my son as well. So, and I mean, yeah, there's not much I can say. I'm on the panel soon. I'm also running a workshop today. Again, more opportunities. So, thank you.